In this video, I want to look at something called the canvas in ChatGPT. To open a canvas, you can come to the plus down to more and then click on canvas, and you'll see the little canvas icon down here in your prompt, and then it's asking you to write or to add code, because the purpose of a canvas is to allow you to work with ChatGPT and modify something. Quite often it's used for code, but it could be used for an article. If you want to come out of the canvas, you can just click on the little cross there and it will close it for you. But let's just go back in for a moment, and I'm going to write a prompt. Let's say write an article on AI art using Midjourney. We've got the canvas selected. Let's send that through to ChatGPT, and as you can see, the appearance is a little bit different. We've got this box on the screen where the article is being written inside. This is the canvas. Let's just wait until it finishes. Okay, it's now finished. It's inside the canvas, and the way we interact with the canvas is to click on the edit button. Notice we could click copy, that will copy the article. We could download it, that will download it obviously, but if we click edit, the screen changes. The article that we're working on is now over on the right hand side, and we have the ChatGPT bot over on the left, and we can interact with it. But we can also interact with the ChatGPT bot on this side as well. If I was to select a paragraph, then you see we have a little ChatGPT box appear. Could make it bold, italic, and I could ask ChatGPT to do something. So let's do that. I'm going to select the whole of the introduction, come up to the Ask ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, can you make this introduction funny? And then click on the little up arrow to send it. Now what's going to happen is ChatGPT is only going to edit that first section, the section that I had highlighted. If you were in a normal ChatGPT chat and you asked ChatGPT, can you make the first paragraph funny, it's basically going to rewrite the whole article. Yes, it will try to put the funny into the first paragraph, but all the rest of it will change as well. So you're not editing an article, you're basically telling ChatGPT to start again, but to put some humour into the first paragraph. So that's the big difference with a canvas. You can interact with ChatGPT and work on the content together to get the content exactly as you want it. If we just have a quick look, artificial intelligence didn't quietly knock on the art world's door. It kicked it in, tripped over the rug and started drawing on the walls while everyone was still arguing about whether it should be allowed inside. So it's clearly put in some humour there. Over on the left hand side, it actually tells us what it's done. So edited AI art with Midjourney. It says done. I kept the humour light and slightly mischievous without turning it into a joke machine. It still signals seriousness underneath, just with a grin instead of a throat clear. So we've got some commentary on what's been done. If I scroll back up, you can see that we have the original prompt, write an article on AI art using Midjourney, and this here is a hyperlink. If I click on it, watch what happens to that first paragraph. It goes back to the way it was. I can restore that version by clicking on here in the revisions over here on the left, and then clicking restore this version, or change your mind, cancel and go back to the latest version. And you've also got something similar up here. You can go back to the previous version and next version that way. When you've made changes, you've also got this show changes, which if you click on that, ChatGPT will show you what it's done. So in red, that's what it's removed. In green, that's what it's added. And it's only affected that first paragraph. If you move your mouse over to the right of paragraphs, you'll see we have a little icon here, and that will allow you to select that paragraph. Let's just come down here a little bit. So if we select that paragraph, we can type in something directly here. So we could say explain, and then ChatGPT on this side is going to explain what it means by this bit. In traditional art, skill lives in the hand. With Midjourney, skill lives in language. And over here we've got an explanation of that. That line is doing quite a bit of reframing, and then there's an explanation about that. Or we could ask it to edit. So we could say, can you expand on this? and hit return, and then it's going to go and it's going to expand and write a little bit more for that paragraph. Now while it's working, it can take a little while to update. So as you see, I'm not getting those icons over here on the right at the moment. It still seems to be working, but they will come back. We just need to give it a little bit of time. But if we go up and show changes now, we can come down and we can see that that last change removed that first line and added that new paragraph. Okay, we're back now with the icons. So ChatGPT has caught up, the canvas has caught up. The next thing to show you about the canvas is this set of buttons down here. So we have suggest edits, adjust length, reading level, final polish, and emojis. Let's click on the suggest edits, because what will happen if I confirm that is that ChatGPT will go through the article and it will look for areas that it can improve. So I'm just going to wait for it to finish and follow what's happening down here. Right, it's now completed that. And as you can see, it's highlighted a number of sentences in there. The little buttons here, the little speech bubbles, if you click on them, will give you an indication of what it's suggesting. Now, if you don't see those, just hang on for a few seconds, because ChatGPT is probably trying to catch up. They should come back with these little speech bubbles. So for the first bit, it says the opening is vivid and engaging. You could tighten the rhythm by trimming one action in the sequence so the joke lands a bit faster and gets sharper pace for this article. You can either cancel it, or you can say, okay, apply that, and ChatGPT then will, you can see it's working away, rewrite it with the suggestion. And then we come down to the next one. Strong thesis, consider briefly signalling, and I just lost the speech bubble for that one. Let's just hang on a second. Here we go, it's come back. Strong thesis, consider briefly signalling the article's main through line here, such as the shifting. Well, you can either apply it, or we can click the little cross to get rid of it and come down to the next one, and then we can do the same. Let's apply that one, and there it is being rewritten, only that part of the article. And then again, I'm having to wait for the little speech bubble to appear. Okay, now that's popped back up, and then we can apply or reject the last one. Oh, there is another one down here. Let's look at that one. Going to reject that one as well. Okay, so that's the suggested edits. It will come up and it will look at the article and make suggestions based on it. The next one is to adjust the length, and you can do this on individual paragraphs if you want to. So let's say that for this one, I'm going to adjust the length, and you can keep current length, you can get shorter, shortest, shorter, longest, longer. Let's make it shorter. Click on OK, and you'll see just this section is rewritten to make it shorter. We can follow over here on the left. It says done. I've cut that section to roughly half its length while keeping the core explanations, metaphor and momentum intact. And again, we'll wait for those buttons to reappear. And here we are. So that's the length. The reading level, we can change the reading level for the article or just for a section of it. Let's use the same section and we can have a look at the reading level. And this will go from kindergarten all the way up to graduate school. So if we say, let's make this kindergarten, and we can watch it rewrite, hopefully to the level of a kindergarten student. And here we go. Midjourney makes pictures when you type in words. You tell it what you want to see and it puts colours and shapes together to make an image. It doesn't think or feel like a person, it just follows rules. Okay, let's try again, but this time we will make it graduate level as soon as I get my buttons back. Okay, let's go back to reading level. Let's move it up to graduate school. Click on accept and we can watch it be rewritten. So the graduate level one. Rather than possessing understanding, intention or aesthetic judgment, the system operates through probabilistic inference. Let's have a look at the next one. The next one is to add some final polish. This will do things like check grammar and things. So if we just click on that and accept, we'll get it to have a look at the whole article. And you can see it's actually rewriting it. So when it's finished, a good thing to do would just be to go and have a look at the changes. We can see what's happening over here, and we'll get a summary of what it's done. Okay, it says I've added final polish across the entire piece, fixed consistency and grammar issues, tightening phrasing, and ensure the structure and sections titles flow cleanly from start to finish. Okay, and then we have the last one, which is to add emojis, and you can add emojis to words, sections, lists, or remove emojis. If you select, let's say, select a sentence, and then you come to emojis and you click on words, then it's going to go through the selected bit, look for words that it can add emojis to, and you're going to end up with some emojis in that sentence. Now it says here I've swapped in emojis while keeping the meaning intact. I don't actually see the emojis in there. It could be that it's still catching up, but I'm going to just click on the refresh button on my browser to cause it to refresh, and there we go. We've now got the emojis in there on a word by word basis. If there's a word that could be used as an emoji, then it is added. Have a play with the others though. If you just do sections, I've just selected a paragraph there, and if you do sections, you'll find that it will just add some emojis at the end of the paragraph. And it seems like there's some sort of caching issue here. It says it's added emojis. I'm going to just refresh the screen again. This can happen sometimes, so just be aware that if you are not seeing what you want in the canvas, just refresh, and there we go, we've got the emojis added to the end. When you've finished in the canvas editing with ChatGPT, you can copy it, you can share it, you can download it in 3 different formats: PDF, Word document, or Markdown, and then you can come out of the canvas itself and back to the chat. Now, with a normal chat, let's just say write a short scene featuring a talking animal. Okay, that's fine. When you do a normal chat and you're not in the canvas, there might be a time when you want to put it in a canvas. Let me just wait for this to finish. Okay, that's now finished. It's not in a canvas. If you wanted to put that in a canvas, there's no obvious way to do it. But you can ask ChatGPT to do that. So let's say, can you open this in a canvas? Just as simple as that. Can you open this in a canvas? And there you can see that that content now has been put into a canvas. Now, we've been doing some normal content, but I want to show you that the canvas is also quite good if you're a programmer. So I'm going to add some programming code into a canvas and hit the return, and you'll see that a canvas is created with that programming code in there. I can click on edit, and then I can ask specific questions of it. I can get ChatGPT to help modify the content. So, I mean, I could select it and ask ChatGPT, what does this code do? And we'll get a reply down here. This function counts how many times a given phrase appears in a block of text using regular expressions. And the explanation is quite long. I'm going to just stop it. And then I want to show you that the buttons you have down here are now different. We've got code review, we've got port to a language, so you could actually port this code into another language. This one is Pascal, but I could say let's port that into C++, and it's now going to have a go at doing that. Okay, I've created a new Canvas document that rewrites the function in C++. We'll just leave that for a moment and look at the other options. You can fix bugs, you can add logs, and you can also add comments as well. If I come out of that altogether, you can now see that other canvas that ChatGPT has created for me. C++, regex, phrase counter. So the canvas can be incredibly useful if you want to create a piece of content, could be programming code, and then refine it over time using ChatGPT to help you refine it.